Phil Robertson from Duck Dynasty is back at it again. First, he equated gays to terrorists in that GQ interview. Then there was a tape from him around 2010 where he called gays murderers and said that they invent new ways of doing evil. Also in that GQ interview, he said that black people were happy during Jim Crow. I'm not sure I've ever heard anything more incorrect in my life. Well, now he's advocating for statutory rape. Stay classy. He says, quote, "Now that's a woman. They got to where they're hard to find, mainly because these boys are waiting till they're 20 years old before they marry them. Look, you wait till they get to be 20 years old, and the only picking that's going to take place is your pocket. You've got to marry these girls when they're about 15 or 16, and they'll pick your ducks." That is beyond creepy. Also, in the same speech, he mentioned that a woman's job is basically to cook the meals. He has like a short list of 3 things. He's like, this is what a woman needs to do. Cook meals and get them young so you can mold their mind to be your servant and yada yada. The reason why I think this is interesting is because it shows you, it highlights this mindset that there's a lot of old school conservatives in the country that they actually believe this and they think this is the way things should be. This is their ideal. And their ideal is a place for everything and everything in its place. So I, as the man, will be the provider, and I'll go out and I'll earn the money and I'll do my 9 to 5 and I'll get dirt under my fingernails and it'll be a rough going, but it's worth it to take care of my family. And the woman's job is defined also. Pleasure the husband whenever he says so, cook my meals, don't talk so much, and I got to make sure I get you young so you don't start thinking and conniving and being an individual, being independent. How dare that ever happen? No, you're supposed to live for me, be my support system. And again, the reason this is important, I'm trying to figure out the best way to word this. They don't think things that you and I would likely accept as just an axiom or as a premise, that everybody in a modern free society should have equal opportunity. So, for example, if a woman wants to be the traditional Leave It to Beaver kind of motherly role, I have no problem with you. Of course you could do that. By all means, I'll support your decision, whatever decision you make. But you should also have the option to go out in the business world, do a so-called man's job. Not saying lower standards to meet physical requirements that maybe a smaller woman couldn't meet, no. But they should have the opportunity to get out and start their own career and do whatever they want to do. All options should be on the table for everybody. And the same thing goes if somebody wants to be a stay-at-home dad, for example, or something like that. But there are a lot of people who simply don't believe that. They think equal opportunity is a bad thing. They think any deviation from their ideal, which is you have this rigid role and that's your job, period. Don't talk back. This is your fucking job and do it. There are people who believe that. And there are people who will argue for that. And then they'll think we are the radical ones when we say, hey man, you're the one being kind of rigid and kind of closed-minded and kind of shutting the doors of opportunity for all these different things that women can do. They're not just relegated to the kitchen and pleasuring you in the bedroom. And they would say we're wrong. But the reason why I think the progressive approach is superior, I'm unapologetic about that. A lot of liberals will tiptoe around, well, we think this might be a better idea, but we'll compromise, we'll negotiate. No, fuck that. The reason why the liberal position is superior is that it is all-encompassing. We're not saying a woman has to go out in the workplace and do everything the same as a man. But we're also not saying you need to go in the kitchen and you need to pleasure your man and that's it. So what we're saying is everything. We're saying do whatever you want as long as you have the equal opportunity. We're saying whatever you want. They're saying, no, it's this or that's it. It's my way or the highway. And that's a problem.